We've had quite some rainy weather here in Berlin over the past few weeks. And for the Indian in me, that means fried snacks and chai. So today we're going to show you how to make one of our favorite snacks, which is the Sabudana Vadas. And we'll also show you how to make a really quick and easy chutney that goes perfectly with these vadas. So let's get started. To make these, first of all, you're going to need sabudana. That's tapioca pearls. The first step is to give these pearls a quick rinse to remove excess starch and then soak them in water for at least 2 to 3 hours. To prevent the sabudana from soaking up too much water and getting soggy, make sure that the water is no more than 1 to 2 centimeters over the surface of the pearls. You should be able to find tapioca pearls at most Indian or Asian supermarkets, and we recommend getting the medium size and not the small ones. Once they're done soaking, the tapioca pearls would have increased considerably in volume, and they should be nice and fluffy. If you press them between your fingers, they should be easy to crush and should no longer have a hard core. At this point, you want to transfer them to a sieve to remove all excess moisture and let them drain while you prepare the other ingredients. This is an important step because if the sabudana is too wet, the patties won't hold together and will fall apart when frying. In addition to the fluffy, chewy, and gelatinous tapioca pearls, the other ingredient that holds these patties together is boiled potatoes. So here we've got 2 large potatoes that we've added to a saucepan. We're going to cover them halfway through with water, cover them with a lid, and boil them till they're completely cooked through. And now it's time for my favorite ingredient in this whole dish, which is the roasted peanuts. So here we're roasting half a cup of peanuts. If you're in a rush, you can of course also use packaged pre-roasted peanuts. But if you've got some patience, I swear by the fact that these pink peanuts in their skin taste way better than packaged pre-roasted peanuts. Roast on medium-high heat, stirring constantly, and then remove them to a plate and set them aside to cool down completely. While the peanuts cool, let's prepare our spices, first of which is going to be 1 teaspoon of cumin that we're coarsely going to grind in the mortar and pestle. Grinding the cumin not only helps break it up and distribute more evenly, but also helps release its essential oils. Next, we've got 1 teaspoon of black peppercorns, which we're also going to coarsely crush. You can of course also use a pepper grinder for this, but we're going for much coarser grind. And once you're done grinding both the spices, they should look something like this. Now with our spices ready, we can tend to our peanuts which have cooled down. Remove the skins from the peanuts and then blow them away to separate the nuts from the skins. Now this is a process we recommend doing outside, but because we wanted to show you, we decided to make a huge mess on our table. Once the peanuts are roasted, crunchy, and skin-free, coarsely grind them in the mortar and pestle as well. Make sure you don't overgrind though, because you really want those crunchy peanut bits in your sabudana vadas. So coarse is really key here. Now let's move on to our vegetables or aromatics. We're going to be using some onion in here, which is not very traditional. Sabudana vada is something that's eaten very commonly during the fasting season in India. This is a time where usual cereal and lentils are forbidden, but sabudana or tapioca is something that people can eat. During this time, onions are also not customary. However, we love the sweetness and crunch that they add to the sabudana vada, and we're not fasting. So we're going to go ahead and add them anyway. We're also adding in 2 de-seeded green chilies. Leave the seeds in, of course, if you can take the heat. And for some freshness and greenery, we've got a small bunch of coriander that we're going to chop finely. This video marks the beginning of our homemade snacks series, where we're going to show you how to make our favorite Indian style snacks and starters at home. So stay tuned and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. The last of our aromatics is 1 inch of ginger that we're finely mincing. Now that we have everything chopped up and ready, Let's move on to the potatoes that we boiled earlier. Once they are cool enough to handle, peel the potatoes and then grate them with the largest end on your grater. A potato ricer would of course be ideal for this, but if you haven't got one, a grater works just as well. We recommend grating the potatoes here as opposed to mashing them because grating them helps retain their fluffiness and prevents them from getting too sticky or starchy from them being overworked while mashing. To the potatoes in the bowl, add in all of the other chopped aromatics, that's the chopped onions, coriander, green chilies, as well as the minced ginger. Then add in all of the peanuts that we toasted earlier, followed by the coarsely ground cumin and the crushed black pepper. Following the spices, last goes in salt to taste. We're using around 1 teaspoon of salt in here. If you've been enjoying this video, please give it a like. Moving on to the star of this dish, the soaked tapioca pearls or sabudana. Before adding the sabudana to the bowl, make sure that it's drained well and is completely free of excess moisture. Now mix everything together with a light hand. You want to ensure that the ingredients are evenly distributed, but at the same time not be too rough to break apart the sabudana pearls. Once the tapioca and potato are evenly distributed through the mixture, it should hold together when pressed. Now we're ready to form the patties. To make this next step easier, dampen your hands before you start making the patties. This will prevent the mixture from sticking to your hands. Take some of the mixture and press together firmly between your palms. Then pat down the sides to make sure everything sticks together and forms a patty-like shape. Firmly press together the patty as you work and try to get the edges as smooth as possible. This helps prevent the patties from falling apart when you fry. If you feel like they're starting to stick to your hands, you can moisten your hands again. Our recipe makes around 12 to 14 medium-sized sabudana patties. And now over to the frying. In a cast iron skillet or kadhai, we're heating up some neutral flavored oil on medium heat until it's around 160 degrees Celsius. Once the oil is hot, add in the sabudana patties. But as always with frying, make sure not to crowd the pan. Wait till the patties or sabudana vadas have started to crisp and turn golden brown on one side before flipping them over. Continue flipping and frying them until they're completely golden brown and crisp on both sides. Once you're done, they should ideally look something like this. And once they're golden brown and crisp, they're ready to be taken out. Make sure that you drain them of all the excess oil and place them on an absorbent kitchen towel. The best part about these vadas is the texture. On the inside, we've got these fluffy potatoes and these chewy and gelatinous tapioca pearls, whereas on the outside, they're completely crunchy and crisp. Just hear that. So now that we've got our vadas ready, we want to show you our favorite chutney to eat these with. You can of course also eat these with ketchup or any other chutney that you like, but this is our favorite combination. We've added 1/3 cup of roasted peanuts to our mixer jar, followed by a de-seeded green chili, as well as 1/2 cup of chopped coriander. We're also going to add 1/3 of a cup of water, as well as salt to taste. Now blend everything together to a smooth consistency, and there you have it. That's how we make our coriander and peanut chutney. Not only is this chutney amazing with these vadas, but it also pairs wonderfully with dosas, idli, or even uttapam. So that's it, folks. We really hope that you enjoyed this edition of our snacks series and that you learned something new. Now we just cannot hold ourselves back from these sabudana vadas any longer. We've got to grab them while they're still hot. With some masala chai, of course. And we hope that you do the same. And we'll see you in our next video.